Live from the WCTV studios, this is Eyewitness News at 5. Coverage you can count on.
A police chase crosses the Florida-Georgia line. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Julie Montanaro. We have exclusive video as that chase came to a halt near the corner of Bannerman Road and Meridian at about 12:30 this afternoon. Deputies forced the car off the road. Both men inside were arrested, and as you can see, we were there as they were taken away in handcuffs. This chase started in Thomas County when deputies say the car fled a traffic stop there. One man is facing charges for driving without a license. The other was wanted for petty theft. One of the men was taken to a hospital with minor injuries.
I don't give a if I'm at your house or not. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. You understand me?
I think you're getting too close.
Yeah, well, I don't give a what you think I'm fitting to do.
That is an excerpt from a video that is getting lots of clicks online. The video, which was posted April 13th to YouTube, shows a detective with the Valdosta Police Department confronting people about a search of their home. Now that detective is facing disciplinary action. Abby Walton joins us with the details on that. Abby?
Julie, VPD tells us that on Tuesday they received information about illegal drug use at a home on East Park Avenue. Police go on to say as officers approached that home, a man and a woman with handguns answered the door. As you can see from the video, a detective tells us that they were under investigation. The people deny any involvement with drugs and ask for a search warrant. As you heard earlier, a heated exchange then takes place with both the residents and detective using profanity. And Julie, while that case remains an active narcotics investigation, Valdosta Police Chief Brian Childress tells us once he saw that video, the detective's actions were also investigated. Now, as of now, the residents have not filed a formal complaint, but the chief tells us that detective, whose name has not been released yet, was disciplined for failure of professionalism and courtesy. Julie, back to you.
All right, Abby, thank you so much. A Tallahassee police officer now faces a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after a run-in with a bicyclist a week ago. That cyclist was riding on Lawn Blanc Road near the intersection of Metropolitan Boulevard when he says a van came within inches of him. The arrest report says the cyclist reached out and slapped the side of the van. It was being driven by off-duty police officer James Harris. The two men got into an argument, and the victim says Harris grabbed him. The cyclist then started to pedal away when he says Harris got into his van, revved the engine, and drove right toward him.
The victim provided a witness, a tag number, a picture of the suspect that was taken with his cell phone. The patrol officer that met with the victim identified the suspect from the cell phone picture as off-duty TPD officer James Harris.
Harris turned himself in this afternoon and was booked in the Leon County Jail. Harris, this is his booking photo. Harris remains on administrative leave with pay while TPD conducts an internal investigation. Florida lawmakers this year allotted money to try to clear a backlog of untested rape kits. The new law meant a lot to a survivor of the brutal crime. Matt Galka talked with her today.
I was raped in 1994, and that one event changed the trajectory of my life in ways that I never could have imagined.
Kelly Green told her story to a group of victims advocates at the Capitol this week. Green was a rape victim at the hands of David Shaw in Orlando, but then she became a victim again, this time because of a rape kit backlog in the state. It took 3 years to process her sexual assault kit.
When I got the phone call from my detective that my kit had been processed after 3 years, and they identified who the suspect was, who the offender was, I broke down in tears because it meant I didn't have to look over my shoulder anymore. I didn't have to study the faces in a crowd to figure out if the rapist was still around.
Florida took steps towards ending that backlog this year. Green hopes it helps prevent other people from becoming victims.
If they decide to make the report to law enforcement that sexual assault kit is going to be processed, there's timelines for when law enforcement have to submit it to the crime lab.
The legislation was one of the top priorities for Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi. Bondi says it's another step forward for victims of the violent crime, something that wasn't always the case.
Many years ago, even rape victims would have to go through the process, and some would even later find out that the case against their perpetrator was dropped.
There are more than 13,000 untested rape kits in Florida, meaning there could be an unknown number of suspects free because of the backlog. In Tallahassee, Matt Gelka, WCTV Eyewitness News.
FDLE is in the process of outsourcing rape kit testing. It sent out more than 100 kits this month, and it's going to do the same in May and June before additional funding becomes available for the new fiscal year. Students all across the Peach State are getting ready for the Georgia Milestones test on Monday. This is going to be the first year the test will count as pass or fail. Last year's test was just a pilot. The test is for students in 3rd through 8th grades. This year, half of the students are going to take it online and the other half will take it on pen and paper. Teachers in Thomas County says they prepare for this all year.
We're quite focused on showing what we know, and we prepare each day to master the Georgia Standards of Excellence, and those align with the test. That measures the Georgia Standards of Excellence, and our teachers have really prepared our students well.
Here are some tips for parents and students as they get ready to take that Georgia Milestone test on Monday. Get to bed early, get a good night's rest. Get the students to school on time that morning. And parents, it helps so much if you encourage your students before sending them off in the morning. Students, teachers say the best thing you can do is take a deep breath, relax, and take your time. So best of luck to each of those students in showing what you know. Well, before students put the pen to paper for this year's standardized test, they're jumping through hoops for the American Heart Association. Well, shooting hoops, really. Today, students at Thomas County Middle School got the chance to take the court during class, and their opponent today, their teachers. Administrators say this is a great way to raise money for a good cause and help students cut loose before next week's test.
And of course, this is a time for the kids to get to show out in front of their teachers, and they've got some skills that they want them to see other than what they're doing in the classroom. So we have the teachers playing against the students, and they have a ball. They have a great time. It's a good thing for the kids to see that we're giving back.
This is the second year students have done this Hoops for Hearts fundraiser, and listen to this. Last year, they raised close to $1,000, so looks like fun. This lot behind the Leon County Courthouse has been empty for years, but that's about to change in a big way. A 15-story building is going to be going up soon at the corner of Jefferson and Calhoun. Aaron Lish gives us a glimpse at the plans. Aaron?
Very exciting news, Julie. This 1.3-acre lot will become Washington Square, and it'll cost an estimated $90 to $100 million to build. It'll host a new hotel, condos, office space, 2 restaurants, and conference rooms. The hotel will be the newest addition to the 60 hotels that are already here in Tallahassee. Visit Tallahassee officials tell me this speaks volumes about the tourism growth for the city.
We've had 7 years of continuous growth in our visitation. So adding a new hotel such as this with 200 to 250 rooms, but more importantly some meeting space, which will help us with meetings and conventions, conferences, as well as business travel.
So how much did the space cost? Fairmont Development tells me they bought the site for $4.2 million, and Washington Square is expected to be finished by June 2018. Julie, there's a real need for a building like this, and I'll have some of those reasons why coming up at 6.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much. Well, let's take a look now at the downtown camera. You can almost see the empty lot from there. Brittany Beatty, this is the first time all week that we've seen, well, that's not true. It's the first time the last couple of days that we've seen some blue skies in between all the clouds.
Yeah, after a bit of unsettled weather, we're finally starting to dry out just a little bit. But still, those clouds are sticking around through much of North Florida, South Georgia, even a few showers extending to the north of Albany. Still, quite an unsettled pattern. The good news is that we're starting to dry out in most locations, Hamilton County and Suwannee counties. A few light sprinkles there, but that's about it. Now, over the past couple of days when we've been dealing with this rainfall, we've received more than an inch of rain in many locations. That's a radar estimate there. And of course, that rain and the cloud cover has been keeping us on the cool side today, with temperatures only reaching the mid-60s through Georgia, highs at 66 degrees in Bainbridge. Here in Tallahassee, only 71 degrees as our peak temperature, and that's a temperature right now. So we're still sticking around those mid-60s to the low 70s, a little bit closer to the coast in Carabel and St. Mark's. A little warmer further to the southeast out in Across City, where they saw a little more sunshine and a little less cloud cover and rain. But the good news is we also have some changes coming up within the weekend, a little bit of a warm up, and finally some clearer, drier, and a return of that sunshine coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, nice to see that blue again. Thank you, Brittany. Now we want to head to the presidential campaign trail. The New York primary just 3 days away now, and for the first time, the Republican race seems to be more subdued than the Democratic one. Weijia Jiang has the latest.
I am very excited to be here in the Vatican.
Bernie Sanders took a break from the campaign trail to visit the Vatican, but he did not stop delivering his message about income inequality.
Widespread financial criminality on Wall Street played a direct role in causing the world's worst financial crisis since the Great Depression.
Hillary Clinton visited a senior citizen center while campaigning in Harlem.
And I now know where to come when I want a good game of dominoes.
But Clinton and Sanders weren't playing games during Thursday night's debate.
If we can raise it to 15.
The two candidates sparred in their most heated debate yet.
If you're both screaming at each other, the viewers won't be able to hear either of you.
The Republicans are focused on New York, too. Hometown candidate Donald Trump hopes his roots will help push him closer to the nomination.
Hundreds of delegates up, and I think we're going to close it out before the convention.
Ted Cruz and John Kasich argued Trump can't win in November.
We have been winning state after state after state, and it's why I believe we're going to earn a majority of the delegates, win the nomination, and beat Hillary Clinton.
I don't know if you know this. I'm the only Republican that consistently beats Hillary Clinton in the fall, the only one.
A CBS News poll backs that up, showing Kasich beating Clinton by 5 points. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
And that same CBS News poll shows that Bernie Sanders beating every Republican candidate and by greater margins than Hillary Clinton does. Still to come on Eyewitness News at 5, it looks like a watch or a Fitbit, but it's so much more. New technology in the works now to help diagnose and possibly treat those with Parkinson's disease. We'll give you a look at that device next.